Music legend Sting is part of The Voice as a mega mentor on the show. With as legendary of a career as Sting has had, he opened up about the fact that joining the singing competition show was a huge risk for him. So, what did he have to say about his experience? Sting has one of the most legendary careers in music of anyone still around today. While he may have broken into the mainstream as part of the Police, he has also carved out an impressive solo career for himself as well. Sting is one of the most iconic musicians around, and his body of work proves it. Being in the music business as long as Sting has, you pick up a lot of tricks of the trade. All these decades later, he is clearly doing something right, as he was brought on as a mega mentor for The Voice. However, according to the singer, he was wary about coming on the set. The 73-year-old rock legend agreed to mentor Gwen Stefani and Snoop Dogg's teams on The Voice. However, even though he is the one who is rock music royalty, Sting admitted to being hesitant about accepting this new gig, as well as the new title of Mega Mentor. Speaking to people about his time on The Voice set, he said that he had a confession to make. He went on to add, "I'd never seen The Voice. When I was given the premise of the show, I was a little bit anxious, but I know Gwen very well. I'm a big admirer of Snoop Dogg, and so I thought, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go on the show even though I'm a little trepidatious." Based on what else Sting had to say about his experience mentoring singers on The Voice, it seems he learned a thing or two from the experience as well. He may have come in as the big dog on set, and rightfully so, given his body of work and all of his accomplishments, but it seems his new students taught him something too. For decades, Sting has remained one of the most revered names in the music industry. With his unique blend of rock, reggae, jazz, and world music, the former Police frontman and solo artist has carved out a place for himself as a legendary figure. Known for his poetic lyricism and genre-defying sound, Sting's career has spanned over 40 years, earned him numerous Grammy Awards, and produced timeless classics. Given his established success and iconic reputation, it might come as a surprise that Sting recently took on the role of coach on The Voice, the popular talent show where artists mentor aspiring singers. While The Voice has launched many careers, for Sting, joining the show was an unexpected leap and a calculated risk. The appeal of The Voice for an industry veteran, Sting has always been a risk-taker in his music, pushing boundaries and challenging conventions. Over the years, he's experimented with everything from orchestral arrangements to collaborations with hip-hop artists, never settling into one specific genre or sound. In his eyes, The Voice represents a fresh platform for musical exploration. For an artist who constantly reinvents himself, this show was another opportunity to challenge himself in an entirely new format. However, the appeal wasn't just the challenge itself. Sting admitted in a recent interview that The Voice is one of the few reality talent shows that he respects due to its focus on raw talent and vocal skill. Unlike other shows that lean on elaborate production or dramatic backstories, The Voice is about the voice and connecting with music on a visceral level, values that align well with Sting's own artistic philosophy. He appreciated the way the show prioritizes genuine artistry, allowing him to mentor vocalists without the distractions often found in similar competition shows. Moreover, Sting has always been vocal about supporting young artists and giving back to the music community. He saw The Voice as an opportunity to directly share his knowledge and experience with up-and-coming singers. "I believe in the next generation of musicians," he said. "Music has given me everything, and I feel it's my responsibility to help foster the next generation of talent." His decision wasn't made lightly, but the idea of guiding fresh talent and potentially shaping the future of music was something he couldn't resist. The risks of joining a reality show. Sting's journey into the world of reality TV was not without hesitation. He knew that joining The Voice could be a double-edged sword. For one, reality TV can be polarizing, and some critics might view his participation as a sellout move or a departure from his sophisticated image. As an established artist, there was a risk that this move might overshadow his legacy, aligning him with the mainstream media in a way that might seem counter to the principles he's championed throughout his career. Sting confessed that he was also apprehensive about the time commitment and the potential for burnout. The demands of being a coach on The Voice, from filming to rehearsing with contestants to live performances, can be intense. While Sting has spent decades touring and performing, the show presented a different kind of schedule, one that required a near-constant presence and engagement. This was something new for an artist who's used to more control over his creative output and pace. Perhaps the greatest risk, however, was one of relevance. In an industry that increasingly values virality and fast-paced production, Sting has always been about depth, introspection, and timeless artistry. There was a question of whether his musical approach, which favors lyrics with deeper meanings and music with layered complexity, would resonate with contestants aiming for instant mainstream appeal, bringing a new perspective to The Voice. Despite the potential risks, Sting was determined to bring a unique perspective to The Voice. His focus was not on creating the next pop sensation, but rather on nurturing contestants' artistry and guiding them in finding their unique voices. For Sting, the technical aspects of singing were secondary to the authenticity and emotion an artist brings to the performance. He believed that a powerful performance came from a place of vulnerability and honesty, a message he shared frequently with his contestants. "I'm not here to make them into someone else," he explained in one of the show's behind-the-scenes interviews. "I want them to dig deep and find something real within themselves, something they're passionate about expressing. That's where great music lives." Sting's coaching style was notably different from that of his fellow coaches. Rather than focusing solely on technique or stage presence, he encouraged his contestants to understand the stories they were telling through their music. He pushed them to explore the meanings behind their song choices and asked them to consider why a song resonated with them. His background in poetic and storytelling lyrics informed his approach, and he brought this artistic integrity to every session, inspiring his team to tap into their own experiences and connect deeply with their music. His presence on the show introduced a layer of artistry that resonated with viewers and contestants alike. In a world that often emphasizes spectacle, Sting's commitment to substance and emotion offered a refreshing change. He encouraged his team members to challenge themselves, to think about their art in ways they hadn't before, and to view music not just as a career, but as a personal journey. One challenge Sting encountered was adjusting to the fast-paced nature of The Voice. The show moves quickly, with contestants required to learn new songs, adapt to feedback, and prepare for live performances in a matter of days. For someone like Sting, who has spent months or even years refining his music, the rapid turnaround was a shock. He had to learn how to balance imparting meaningful guidance with the limited time constraints of the show. Sting also found that his coaching style didn't always align perfectly with the competitive nature of The Voice. In the end, it is a contest, with contestants being eliminated each week, something that conflicted with Sting's usual approach of encouraging growth and artistic evolution over immediate results. His philosophy has always been about longevity in music, and he had to adjust his expectations to fit the reality of a show that thrives on weekly performances and high-stakes eliminations. In a reflective moment during an interview, Sting shared that his time on The Voice had taught him a great deal, not only about mentoring, but also about his own relationship with music. He realized that music, at its core, remains a deeply personal and transformative experience, whether on a global stage or in a competition setting. Seeing young artists find their voices and push their limits reminded him of his own early days as a musician, navigating challenges and developing his craft. Sting also acknowledged that he learned a lot from the younger artists. These singers brought so much energy and enthusiasm, and it was humbling to see how much music still matters to them, he said. He left The Voice with a renewed passion for music and a sense of purpose in his own work. This fresh energy has even influenced his approach to his own projects, encouraging him to experiment with new sounds and explore different musical paths. Sting's time on The Voice has been more than just a detour, it has become part of his ever-evolving legacy. By stepping into a new and unconventional role, he demonstrated his commitment to fostering the next generation of musicians, proving that even a legend is willing to take risks for the sake of music. His involvement brought depth and artistry to the show, resonating with contestants and viewers alike. Ultimately, Sting's stint on The Voice is a testament to his belief that music is a lifelong journey, one that requires courage, growth, and sometimes a willingness to step into unfamiliar territory. In joining The Voice, Sting proved that his love for music transcends fame or legacy. It's about the passion and purpose that music brings, both to those who create it and to those who listen.